Welcome back to Real Florida TV. Today we have with us Bob Pearce, Executive Director of the Central Panhandle Chapter of the American Red Cross. Quite a mouthful. Bob's a big enough guy to wear that name tag. We're going to be talking about the Red Cross and all of the things that it does, and about some of the recent disasters that we've experienced in which they've helped. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Real Florida TV. Welcome to the show. As mentioned, we have Bob Pearce, who is Executive Director of the Central Panhandle Chapter of the American Red Cross. Thanks for being here, Bob.
I appreciate the opportunity to do it, Paul.
I've known you for a number of years, and you have quite a weighty position and responsibility in the local chapter of the Red Cross. Let's start with the nuts and bolts. What is the American Red Cross?
I think probably everyone has heard of the Red Cross. It's probably one of the top two. I know it's one of the top two brands in the world for brand recognition. And most people think of blood donations. They think of major disasters. You know, the Red Cross has a presence in all 6 of our counties that we work in. Let's get that out of the way: Bay, Calhoun, Gulf, Holmes, Jackson, and Washington counties. And we've been around this local chapter since 1917. Long time. And we do things every day that people would probably be surprised by. For one, we respond to a disaster event about once every 3 days, and sometimes even more often than that. It averages out over the course of a year about once every 3 days. Some of those you see on TV and hear about on the radio or newspaper, and some of them you don't. A lot of them are single-family house fires. And if your house burns down, that is the biggest disaster that ever happened in the history of your world. And it is a traumatic experience for those families. So we're very busy on the disaster side. Of course, on the health and safety side, something that you've been part of before, doing a lot of training programs. We probably train more people across our 6 counties in first aid and CPR and the use of automated external defibrillation units than anybody else. And we're constantly busy trying to do that. And then, of course, Armed Forces Emergency Services, part of the Red Cross that a lot of people don't really know about. We don't do a lot of publicity and promotion around it because the cases that we're involved in are really heart-wrenching in a lot of ways and very private to those families. But when a member of the National Guard or Army Reserve or any of the reserve forces that are on active duty or any of the active duty military personnel around the world have an issue, if they have family in our 6 counties, then we oftentimes get involved in helping them resolve whatever crisis they have. A lot of times it's bad news, and we help get them back home to be with the family in a time of crisis. We could go probably for the entire length of the show, me just telling you about things that the Red Cross does all the time. And the best way to find out is to go to the Red Cross website at redcross.org